I knew it was coming. I just didn't know what was going to be included in the announcement.
And so for people who don't know, explain to me your role since the beginning, or since you with the administration since the beginning. How did you get involved? What did you do?
So a few months before the election day, I got a link from one of my volunteer friends that said, "Hey, Rhonda, you really should be on this committee. We're like deep behind the scenes, and you have to apply, send in your resume to be on committees to help write gun violence prevention policies for the administration when they get in." And so we had things like swing state reach out, action on the first day, action on within the first 100 days. And so we had these things ready to go at right around election day. They were ready to go right as he got into transition, right, sworn into office. So I had been keeping track of, okay, it's been this many days since we've been in office, where's the gun violence reform?
Explain to me from what you know what he is announcing.
So I wrote it down, and what he wants to do is within 30 days to propose a rule against ghost guns, which is like DIY guns, or you order parts and accessories and you assemble them on your own, like a Lego kit. He wants to address braces that have been used for handguns to make them more like AR-15 style of weapon and easier to manage. He wants to model red flag laws for all 50 states. Okay. Invest in community-based violence interventions, which is one of the things we did suggest to him. And then number 5 is the Justice Department will issue an annual report on firearms trafficking, which is kind of another thing that we had suggested, that we hold the ATF accountable for what's going on behind the scenes.
So 2 of the things that you suggested, it seems like he has enacted, right?
Yeah, it looks like 2 of them.
Of how many?
Let me see. We had 7.
And can you, you don't have to list them all because I know that's a lot, but can you explain to me a couple of the big ones that you were hoping?
Oh yeah. Strengthen background check systems would be one. Prohibit certain types of weapons. So like your weapons of mass destruction, your AR-15 styles, your AK styles. And something that's near and dear to me is keeping the guns out of schools by not allowing that funding to pass on to the educators to be able to get their licenses.
What was your reaction to hearing what he announced?
I mean, I'm glad that he did it, but at the same time, I'm a little frustrated that it took 78 days, because I knew that this stuff was ready to go. Like they pushed it very, they pushed us a lot to be able to get this ready to go before inauguration day. So I knew it was ready to go. It's like I told somebody else, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. I understand that we do have COVID going on, but like I said, this was prepped and ready. And I also feel like there's a difference with saying, oh, we're going to create a rule for ghost guns within 30 days. It's like saying to my son, oh, will you please do the dishes? No, you are going to do the dishes. And so I feel like the wording is a little off, like he could be more direct with his instructions.
What about his messages for Congress and what he wants Congress to do? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's great that he's trying to get Congress, especially the Senate, to do their job. But what we have to remember is that 50% of those senators are still Republican, and they're still probably receiving donations from corporations like the NRA. And so they're not going to want to do the right thing. The junior senator from Texas accepts $500,000 from the gun lobby and the NRA. That's a lot of money. They're going to want a return on their investment. So
what would have been, Rhonda's big hope for today? What would you have wanted to have seen?
definitely strengthen the background check, because that has been that's been passed in Congress. It's just waiting to get over to the Senate. And definitely the ban on AR-15s. I'm a veteran. I've shot that kind of weapon before, and I don't believe that John, the guy down the street, needs to have one. They need to be in the hands of highly qualified military and SWAT, and that's it.
Would any of these rules today have been enough to save Kimberly?
Background check system, definitely. The father that was involved in the Santa Fe shooting, had a history with Galveston County Sheriff, and that would have helped if his name was in the system correctly. And then the executive order to model red flag laws for the states. We know from interviews that the dad did that the young man was not mentally sound, and dad had actually stayed home with his kid for about 2 weeks to help him get through a difficult time. So either the kid didn't need to be around the guns, or the guns didn't need to be around the kid. So yeah, probably those two would have helped.
But I mean, what about the ones that Biden actually did put together? Would any of that have helped?
I don't know. I'm looking at them. Definitely not braces for guns. Definitely not a ghost gun rule. So for me, it's like, okay, yes, you did it, but it didn't exactly meet the needs of my shooting specifically.
So what's next? What's your message? If you had Biden sitting right in front of you, what would you say to him?
I need you to do more. Like, this was good. You get an A for effort, but you need to keep going, because this is a multifaceted issue. And it's like fighting like an evil snake. You cut off one head and another two will grow back.
You mean Hydra?
My son says a hydra. But it's just, there's so many aspects to it. And this is a good start, but I really need him to keep going. And I believe it. I was just talking to another friend. I believe it was Super Tuesday, and he was in Texas, and he said that he was going to create an office for gun violence prevention. And he was going to let Beto O'Rourke handle that. And I really need that office to be created. Put it as a subgroup of ATF or something. But that would be great if he actually followed through with that and put survivors in charge of it.
How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you? I know it's a loaded question. How are you doing?
Right now I'm doing good. Today is a good day. Good day at work. I have an awesome dog. I have an awesome new job. Yeah, today is great. Now talk to me in the middle of May and I'll probably be in a different spot. It's the shooting anniversary year coming up, and then on the 28th is Santa Fe High School graduation, and this would be Kim's graduation year. So we're leaving the state. We're going to be with family in Alaska and not even nearby. So